friends, welcome to my channel, Sandy Toe Tarot. As you can see, I'm in a new setup again today. Seems like things are always changing here at Sandy Toe Tarot, but that's okay. That's just the exterior that's changing. That's just the set. Everything else stays the same, which means we're still all about tarot reading here. My name still is Laura, and mostly I'm doing pick-a-card readings now, although sometimes I do weekly readings. So today I thought it was time for another pick-a-card love reading, and I just very generally asked the question, what's coming up in the next month for pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, or pile 4? I asked that same question for all of the piles that are down here. This is a timeless pick-a-card reading, so whenever you find this message, that means you would ask the question, what is coming up for you in love, sex, and romance in the next month? And then choose the pile that is speaking to you. I'll put timestamps in the description box below, and then you can go directly to your particular reading, whichever one you've chosen. So I actually think that's kind of it. It's pretty basic. It's just a pick-a-card reading about what's coming up for you in the next month in the way of love, sex, and romance. Again, I will put the camera down so you can choose the pile that's speaking to you. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please do so and hit that bell, and you'll be notified when I upload a new video. If you do like this particular video, please give it a thumbs up. That lets me know, yeah, you kind of like that kind of reading, and it helps me, you know, just kind of plan for what to do next and how often to do the love readings, because I'm definitely doing more pick-a-card readings these days, but I want to kind of mix it up and not do love readings all the time, or not do yes or no readings all the time. So I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. But I do know you guys want to look into your love relationships and your love life pretty frequently, at least every month, right? I get it. Me too. In any case, if you know someone that might be interested in these videos, please do share it with them. And without further ado, we'll get started on this week's pick-a-card, which is what's coming up for me in the next month in the way of love, sex, and romance. So let's get started. Okay, so these are the piles that you guys can choose from for your love reading. What's coming up in the next month in the way of love, sex, and romance. Let's see. What do I need to tell you about this? Okay, I do. The piles start this way: pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I do have a stone on each one of the piles. Pile 1 has a rose quartz, rough cut rose quartz on it. The love stone. Pile 2 has, this is dyed, and it's a pretty pink stone, and I cannot remember what it is, but it's bright pink, like my shirt, see? I love it. But I do not remember it may be an agate. Don't quote me on that. On pile 3 is the aqua or quartz. I love that one too, very pretty. And on pile 4 is the amazonite. So those are the stones I picked today. I'm not going to tell the meanings today because I kind of want to just get this done. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I wanted to put this out for you guys. So let's see again. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Go ahead and pick the cards that are speaking to you, and I'll put the timestamps in the description box below, and you can go directly to that reading. Okay, so pick your pile, and I'll see you at your reading. Okay, if you chose pile 1 with the rose quartz, these are going to be your messages. I do have several things. There's the rose quartz. I do have several things going on in the pile. I have oracles and tarot, a bit of a mix. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay it all out, and we'll see the message. I do have these radiant Rider-Waite that I can use for clarifiers if we need them. I lost my set of small cards, which I do like to use to clarify, but oh well, what are you going to do? Okay, so these are your messages. What's coming up for you in the way of love, sex, and romance in the next month? for the tarot. And I'm using the Secrets of Tarot this time by Amanda Hall. You got the Nine of Wands. A little bit of glare on that. You got the Ten of Wands. The Page of Cups. And the Seven of Swords, actually. Okay, let's see where I want to put these at so you can see everything. Maybe up here. So then for further clarification with tarot, I'm using the Druid Craft Tarot this time. You got the King of Pentacles and you got the Eight of Cups. I asked a little bit of different questions with these oracle cards, but we'll get to that in a minute. With the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, you got the Knight, be brave and honest. And with the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards, you got Gates of Triumph, success expands in your life. That's a pretty card. Okay. Be brave and honest. Success expands in your life. So, right away, I think that some of you guys are going to be walking away. You got two cards that kind of represent that. I think that you're walking away from a romance in the next month, and I think there's a specific reason for that. First, you got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is always a card of taking your leave. It is a card of there being something going on, something deceptive going on sometimes. Like there's some deceit. There's sometimes some self-deception, right? A little bit of trickery. It's kind of the card, it's the card of thievery. See, he's walking away with those swords. He's got 5 of them. There's 2 left standing. So basically the message of the card is you're leaving the circus. There's a circus in the background. So you are walking away. You are taking some of the problems with you, which means you have to take some responsibility yourself for what has happened here. But you are walking away from this situation, and you're walking away to pursue that 9th cup. The 8 of Cups is pretty good. You do have 8 cups here, but you know instinctively that there is something missing, and you know that you will not be happy until you find that 9th cup. Even though there might be some good stuff here happening in this relationship, it kind of doesn't look like there's good stuff recently, like maybe it was in the past. You know that it's not the ideal relationship for you, so you are going to walk away from this one to pursue the one that is for you. So you do have 2 cups of walking away, so I'm saying that some people are going to be walking away from a relationship this month, and here's why. The 9 of Wands represents being battle worn. It represents being exhausted. It can be making one last stand, like you're already exhausted, but this card is saying that you do have the stamina to make one last stand. And it looks like you've, in this particular relationship, you've already done that, because you also got the 10 of Wands, which means 10s are endings and beginnings at the same time, and 10 is a lot of burdens, a lot of struggle. But the message of the card is the only way out is through. like you can't pass it off to anybody else. You've just got to, there's some heavy load that you're carrying with this relationship, and you've got this one last push to go through, and then you will be walking away from it. There is some responsibility here that that you have to finish up, and then you're going to walk away from this relationship. This also provides a little bit of hint as to why you have the King of Pentacles, which is actually a very practical king. It's an older gentleman that's really good with money. His pentacles are all lined up because he's just good like that. He's just very practical. He's good with money. He's good with business. He thinks a lot about business, and he's very careful and methodical in how he handles his business affairs. The King of Pentacles is the card of Gemini for me, just in case a Gemini might have something to do with your situation. And then up here you have this Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups, it is the minor arcana for Pisces, but it is also a card that reminds us life is supposed to be fun. Don't forget to be frivolous and enjoy the journey too. It's not all drudgery. Life is supposed to be fun. So I think just overall what this message is saying is that, see, with the angels and ancestors advice, you did get the Knight card, and it says be brave and honest. It's not always to be honest about a relationship that has been good in the past and when it's not working anymore, and that's kind of what I feel like is happening here. It may have at one time been good, and there are some good elements to this relationship. You got 8 cups here. But what used to be fun and used to be very loving and fun has become lost in this pursuit of finances. Even this card, the Gates of Triumph, success expands in your life. That says to me that somebody is maybe spending a little, these cards together say, someone's maybe spending a little too much time worrying about business and not enough time worrying about relationship. And that's okay. You know, we all have our priorities, and at different times in our lives we are more interested in business than we are in relationship. At other times we're more interested in relationship than we are in business. It seems like at one time this was a very loving and a very fun relationship, and you guys have gotten bogged down in the business of living and making money and pursuing success. Because of that, one of you has made the decision to you participated in it. Some of the problem is yours. You have to take ownership of some of the problem. You participated in it for a long time. You are discovering or have discovered that it's not going to be enough for you. It's not going to be enough for you to stay in this relationship. What has been in the past is not going to be enough for you to hang on until this business of making money is complete, until whoever it is, maybe it's the man. That's not necessarily true. We all have masculine and feminine energy in us, but someone is way focused on the financial part of it. You were at one time, but you're like, hey, I miss this. I miss the love. I miss the fun. Yes, success is important. It is important to make money, to be successful, to reach your goals. However, this is important to me too. It's not important to the other person at this time. So you are going to make a decision to leave this relationship to pursue that 9th cup. this is a good relationship. It's not a great relationship. It's not ideal. And that also makes me think that there's honor. Be brave and honest how you're handling this situation. You really should be commended for that, because it seems like you're really being mature about it. You're just realizing you're in different places. So you're making the mature decision to leave the relationship, although you may still care about this person and you still have feelings for them. You're going to leave the relationship so that both of you can pursue what it is that you want. And the last thing I want to say about this reading is this Eight of Cups sometimes means it, with this moon card, with this moon up here, it sometimes means it can take 30 days to resolve. So, you know, our question was, what's coming up in love, sex, and romance in the next 30 days? It may take one moon cycle for it to be resolved, and that's actually 28 days. A moon cycle is 28 days, not 30. Close, right? Okay, I think that's all I have for pile one. I think that's pretty succinct as far as the message is concerned, and I think we see pretty much what is going on here in all cards and the way it all played out. Just the people cards again, Pisces and Gemini. You may be a Gemini or maybe dealing with a Gemini. You may be a Pisces or maybe dealing with a Pisces. Not necessarily. I just wanted to throw that out there just in case. Okay, that's all I have for my pile ones. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, you guys. If you chose pile two with this hot pink stone on it, that I have no idea what it is, but I just love the color, these are going to be your messages. What's coming up for you in the next month in the way of love, sex, and romance. I have several types of cards down here. I'm just going to go ahead and pull them out, and then we'll talk about them. I am using the Secrets of Tarot for the tarot cards this week. So you got the Five of Pentacles, the Tower, the Six of Swords. To further clarify with tarot cards, I got the Three of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. For the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, you got Great Teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. And for the Sacred Traveler Oracle, you got Finding Sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. Those are both spiritually connected. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. What's coming up for pile two in the next month in love, sex, and romance? It's gonna, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the next month in your love life is going to be a bit of a challenge. It does feel like to me that you guys are in a relationship already. There are some problems in the relationship. Those problems are going to come out in the open in the next month, although they may right now be festering beneath the surface. They're going to come out in the next month, maybe through a sudden change. And the good news is, by the end of the 30 days, you will be moving on to calmer waters. But let's talk about this real quick. The Five of Pentacles is a card of poverty. It's a card of being left out in the cold. When it shows up in a relationship reading, I don't see it as poverty. I see it as maybe an emotional poverty. Maybe being left out in the cold. Maybe you're in... Actually, I do think this pile is for people that are already in a relationship. And if you're not in some kind of relationship or some kind of situationship or something, or you don't have some kind of partner already, this is not the reading for you. You can go ahead and click off of this. This reading is definitely for people that are already in some type of relationship in the way of love, sex, romance, relationship. Okay. So, this is the card of being left out in the cold, and again, that can be emotionally. You feel this way. You feel like you're alone in this relationship. Actually, in this particular depiction of the Five of Pentacles, this woman is left out in the cold, but she does have a friend with her. Someone who is also maybe wounded by this relationship in some way. It could be a child that is a part of this situation that is has also been feeling the disharmony that's going on. It could be someone else that is in another way, in some other way connected to the relationship and has been there with you, kind of in your emotional destitution, I guess I would call it, in that they're being treated in the exact same way through this relationship. They feel the exact same way, that they're out in the cold. So the Three of Swords can be a third-party situation, but basically it just represents to me hurt, and it represents emotional hurt. So there is some woundedness going on here. You can see those two together. That just kind of tells you where you are in this relationship right now. I always say, though, the Three of Swords can be very painful. It can be very hard to deal with. The good news of the Three of Swords is when something is, it's kind of a lancing, because it means that all this stuff that's been buried beneath the surface is at least coming out in the open so that you can deal with it. It's like lancing a wound. If it's just down beneath the surface, it's festering, it gets worse, it gets infected. Nothing ever heals when it's like that. But if you lance it, that allows that wound to burst open so that it can begin healing. And that's kind of what the Three of Swords is all about. So, in the next 30 days, we asked what's happening. Well, it does look like there is going to be a sudden change. This situation is going to change unexpectedly and suddenly. It could be a breakup. It could be some kind of revelation. Like if it is a third-party situation, that comes out in the open. You maybe already know about this, and there's a breakup. It's unexpected. It's generally a surprise. But mostly it's like good. I hate to say it's good news, because that's never easy energy to deal with, right? When something happens unexpectedly like this, maybe you find out your husband's cheating on you, or your wife is cheating on you, or maybe you find that out at the same time they're breaking up with you. I'm sorry to say that, but that happens sometimes, right? It's never easy, but it's always for your highest good. And I hope that you can remember that as you're going through something that is this painful. It is always for your highest good. The Tower comes along. You notice the hand of God is in this. This tower is being struck down by God. And it is because the foundation was not good. So this relationship, and honestly, you've been feeling it for a long time. It's not a good relationship. The foundation of it is not good. Something's going to happen to wipe that away from your life, quite frankly. And this is really quick. Like all this happening right here is really quick for 30 days. It could very well be that all this happens within the next 30 days. It could be that you've consulted these cards and kind of some of this has already happened. Okay? But the Six of Swords is a very good card. It is the card of moving on to calmer waters. It does have the swords in it, and that indicates some problems, right? The swords are in the boat with you. So it does mean that there's still going to be some problems, but brighter days are ahead, first of all. And in the short term, you are taking a break from this. A pleasant break that's going to take this off your mind, or you're actually beginning to move on to calmer waters. You're not completely healed yet, but things are looking brighter and better. Might have something to do with this Ten of Pentacles. This is actually a very happy family card. It's a happy family card of generations of family getting together. Thanksgiving's coming up. So maybe that's your break from what you're dealing with here. You're able to maybe go visit family, take a little break from this situation. The problems are still there, but this provides you a safe haven or a respite. This provides you some escape from all this that's going on. And I actually have noticed it before, but it never occurred to me until this reading. And so maybe that's kind of how you're feeling right now. If you'll notice this guy in the middle, he is older, but I don't think that matters so much as that he's exhausted. He's really tired. And people are gathering around him. Little girl at his feet, playing with a dog. This guy back behind him, probably the son, showing support for the father. You see, so this to me in this particular reading is telling me that these supportive generations of people, family, are going to be around you and support you at this time. And so these cards are probably, with the angels and ancestors, I just asked, what guidance do you have for my pile twos? And you got great teachers, learn from spiritual experiences. So this might be a good time to consult whatever spiritual whatever spiritual beliefs you might have. It might be a good time to consult a teacher or a leader in that faith. For just some spiritual guidance. But this is just telling you this is a good time to lean on your faith. When things are going on like this, it can be really hard to deal with on your own. Lean on your family, lean on your faith, get spiritual advice from people if you need to. Allow your family to support you at this time. And then the other question that I asked for the Sacred Traveler was, what action does pile 2 need to take? And the action that you got with the Sacred Traveler is finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. Again, just plays right into these cards right here. Consult with your spiritual leaders, pray, meditate, do what you do to make you feel connected to the divine. Consult with spiritual teachers if you have a spiritual leader in your faith community, whatever that may be. Open to your spiritual source and find sanctuary with your family and your spiritual family also at this time, or maybe just one of them. Maybe it is that this is your spiritual family that's going to support you at this time as you're dealing with this heartbreak. I think I'm going to leave that there. I was considering pulling another card, but I think that message is very clear, and I am very sorry that you are going through this. I can tell you from personal experience, I've been through it many times. I know it is very painful, especially when you have these sudden breakups like this. But I also know through experience that they turn out to be for the best in the end. You just got to get through this first shock of it all, and you will get through it with the help and the support of your family and your spiritual family and those who love you. They will lean on them, find sanctuary with them. They will be able to help you through this process. Okay, my pile twos, until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, pile threes. You guys chose the beautiful aqua aura quartz and the pile three cards. I have oracle and tarot in here. I'm just going to kind of pull it all out at the same time, and we'll see what happens. So the question was, what's coming up for pile three in the next month in the way of love, sex, and romance? So let's see what we got here. Oh, you got two Sacred Traveler. Okay. So I am using the Secrets of Tarot this time for the regular tarot cards. You got... that was interesting. Justice. The Page of Wands. The Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Cups. You got a lot of people cards here. All right, for further clarification, I chose the Druid Craft Tarot for more messages, and we got the Seven of Cups and the Ten of Swords. The Oracle cards, I chose Angels and Ancestors Oracle. You got Heart Guardian, Love, and Let Yourself Be Loved. And again, you got two of the Sacred Traveler, Wondrous Universe, Walk in Beauty, and Answering the Call, The Time Is Now. Okay, what's coming up for pile three? Love, sex, and romance in the next month. Okay, I need a minute here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What's with all these people? Okay. I'm interested in this guy right here. This is the Page of Wands. It is the Minor Arcana card for Sagittarius. It's also a card for a young person. These days, I say a young person in tarot is 35 and under, because this says 25 and under, but when tarot started, our lives were very different. People matured much more quickly. People went out into the world and started making their own living just much more quickly. Things have changed. Society has changed. We're living a lot longer. So to me, a young person in tarot terms is someone age 35 or younger. So this is a young Sagittarius, or it's a young fire sign. The fire signs are adventurous, enthusiastic, passionate, those kind of people. In love, sex, and romance readings, wands are sex. Those are sexual relationships sometimes. Not necessarily picking up on that in this particular relationship, but I do think it's a young person. Not necessarily a male. It could be a female or male. Pages are just young people under the 35 or younger who is, and it would be someone who has those character traits of the Sagittarius or the fire sign, which is passionate, enthusiastic, adventurous, creative. Okay. When I see the Queen of Swords, again, this, don't get caught up in masculine or feminine energy. I mean, don't get caught up in male or female. This is energy, right? So when I see the Queen of Swords with the Queen of Cups like this, the Queen of Swords represents an older woman who is very sharp, very intelligent. She makes decisions with logic. She rules with an iron fist, but she makes her decisions with logic. The Queen of Cups is an older woman who is very emotional, wears her heart on her sleeve, very loving, very warm, very compassionate. When I see these two together like this, that tells me, that indicates not people, but a head and heart situation. And I think your head and heart situation is about this person right here. Your head says no, but your heart says yes. And I feel like that you guys have been in this space, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, with this person for a little bit. Because this Seven of Cups is a card of daydreaming. It's a card of fantasizing. It's a card of wishful thinking. It's a card of, can be a card of pie in the sky, having too many options available to you and you can't decide. But in this particular instance, I think it's wishful thinking. I think that you've been engaging in some wishful thinking about this person right here. You want this person to become a full-time lover. You want him to become a full-time relationship kind of thing. He is fun. They're adventurous. They're good in bed. They're passionate. They're creative. They're just a lot of fun. You're enjoying it, and you're just wondering why you cannot turn this into a real relationship. And let me tell you, the reason that you cannot turn this into a real relationship is because this person is not ready. They don't want it. They're not interested in it. And no judgment about this person. They're having fun. They're young. They're having fun. They don't want to settle down. They want to have fun. They want to pursue adventures, and sexual relationships are fine with them. They're just not into the, the full-blown marriage, white picket fence, that kind of thing. That's just not that person, although you wish you would like to turn them into that person. And that's why you're here. That's why you're stuck in this my head says no, my heart says yes situation. This is a head and heart situation. You're fighting yourself. But in the next month, let's talk about this. This Justice card is oh boy, it can be lots of things. First of all, it's the Major Arcana card for Libra. You got a lot of people cards here, so I'll go through those in a minute of what the signs may be. But this is kind of a major arcana card for Libra. But Libra is like the card of justice, things having a fair outcome. That's basically what this card means. It can also mean balancing, trying to find a balance here. But it's also, if you notice this guy, this woman, actually I think it's a woman, she does have the scales there for the balance, but she's also carrying the sword of truth. So there is some indication here that the truth comes out this month, or you make peace with the truth that you have already known, that this person is not really into the full-blown relationship kind of thing. They're just for fun. Sword, notice this. Head, sword, logical decision. Sword, logical decision. Truth, sword of truth, sword of truth. Head, heart, head wins. Head wins this month. Something happens. You're finding out the truth about this situation. Like, this is not ever going to go the way you want it to go. All the wishful thinking in the world is not going to turn this person into marriage material. The truth is coming out this month because of what happens, however this comes out. Maybe it's just you yourself realizing, yes, it's just not going to work. You get the Ten of Swords, which is my card for stick a fork in me, I'm done. It can be, it's an ending. It's absolutely an ending. Tens are also endings and beginnings at the same time. So that might be good news for this particular situation. Like, maybe when you say, okay, I'm done with that, then that opens up the possibility of another relationship. Endings and beginnings at the same time, right? But you have to end this one first. This is usually, for me, a lot of readers don't read it that way, but for me, this is usually a card of you saying, okay, that's it, I'm done. It's not always. Sometimes it's a card of being stabbed in the back. But usually for me, it's you saying, I'm done, I'm gonna move on. I can't take it anymore. It's kind of that kind of thing. So this is good. This is good that you are coming to terms with the fact that this is not going to ever be what you want it to be. You find the sword of truth this month. Somehow something happens, or it comes to you in some way. This is never going to work. You make the decision. You say, okay, I'm done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I'm moving on. I'm ending this. So that opens you up to this. So for the Angels and Ancestor Oracle, I asked the question, I asked what guidance the angels and ancestors can give to you guys in this situation. And you got Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. So this tells me once you end this, you're going to find someone that loves you, that you can actually have that real relationship with that you want, and not just this, which is fun. There's nothing wrong with this, but you want this. This is saying open your heart up to love, to finding the real deal. And then for the Sacred Traveler cards, I just asked the question, what action does pile 3 need to take? You got Wondrous Universe, Walk in Beauty. And this card to me just says, notice the beauty that is around you, because it is absolutely everywhere. And when you start feeling abundant in nature, when you're walking out in nature, or in anything, when you start looking at life in this way, it just opens things up for you. The last card that you got here, as far as what action you could take, is answering the call. The time is now. So, I don't know, for some of you, if there's something else that you need to be spending your time on, like you're being called to do something else that doesn't have anything to do with the relationship. But it's more like finding your calling, then this card might be speaking to you in that particular way. But for some of you, this just means the time is now, answering the call. It's answering the call of your heart. What you really want deep down is to be in a real relationship with someone, and that's why you have to let this go, and you have to open yourself up to being in a real relationship. You have to open your heart. And this is one way to do it, to notice the beauty noticing the beauty that's around you. It's everywhere. Walk in beauty. And then there are so many ways that you can heal your heart if you need to do that before you can open yourself up to a relationship. There are, on YouTube, there are a lot of heart chakra healing meditations that you can do while you're sleeping. You can do them like for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever. But there are tons out there. If you need to do that before you can open yourself up and get into a new relationship, do that. But this card is saying the time is now to open yourself, to let go of this, to say I have had enough of this. There's no way that this will turn into the kind of relationship that I want. I'm going to end this right here, and I'm going to open myself up to the possibility of a real relationship. Okay, so that's all I have for my pile 3s. Until next time, I'm sending you guys lots of light and love. Namaste. Okay, if you chose pile 4 with the Amazonite, these are going to be your messages for the Pick a Card Love reading. That's the Amazonite. It's really pretty. I have tarot here. I have oracle cards here, so I'm going to just go ahead and turn them all over and we'll read them at the same time. I chose the Secrets of Tarot cards this time for just the general message. You got the King of Swords. You got the Magician. And you got the Sun. Huh? I just noticed down here at the bottom. I don't usually read the messages down at the bottom because I just read tarot intuitively or just from my general knowledge of tarot. But I just noticed down here that it says marriage, happiness, and bright prospects. So if you're interested at all in that. Okay. So I chose Druid Craft Tarot for just some more information. You got the Prince of Cups and the King of Cups. And we'll talk about the question that I asked on these cards in a little bit. But for the angels and ancestors, wow, that's pretty. You got Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. And for the Sacred Traveler Oracle, you got in the flow, everything is smooth sailing. Okay. As far as love, sex, and romance and what's coming in the next month, pile 4s win the jackpot this time, because as really just love and, you know, good vibes with the love thing. This is the best reading of all of these. So let's just talk just real quickly the people cards, because I forgot the people cards last time. The King of Swords is Libra. Prince of Cups is Princess Cups. So the Prince of Cups would be, I'm sorry, I had to think about that a minute. So the Prince of Cups would be the Pisces, and then the King of Cups would be Capricorn. So you've got some people here who are, if it's not a Pisces, and if this is not a Cancer, did I say Capricorn? That's a Cancer. King of Cups is Cancer. Okay, so if these are not actual Pisces, Cancer, these are people that are coming to you with offers in the way of relationship. You got a Prince of Cups here who is a younger person. See, he's offering you this cup of love. The princes are going to be a little younger. They're going to be not as experienced in the love as this King of Cups is here. This guy maybe is a little bit older, and he's actually kind of mastered relationships. He's been through a lot of them, maybe. And a lot of times you get this card for the PR people because they know how to work relationships to get what they want. But in this particular reading, since we're actually talking about love, sex, and romance, that would be someone that is really good at relating, if it is not a Cancer card. Okay. All right, so let's just talk about the message a little bit here. So, if this is not a Libra, it's an older gentleman who is really very, I don't want to say they're very stern. It's a very logical person. He's very intelligent. He makes decisions with his head and not his heart. He has a whole lot of integrity, actually, the King of Swords. Like, they're not going to be as warm and loving as this guy is. They're not going to be as adventurous as a King of Wands would be. But this, you can count on this guy. His word is his bond. If he tells you something, that means he's going to do it. So, yeah. So that's the King of Swords. In the middle here, you got the Magician card, and the Magician card is the Master Manifester. So this tells me you guys have maybe been wanting to draw a relationship into you. You've maybe been looking for a relationship. So you're actually manifesting it. It's coming to you this month. And if that card didn't tell me that, then this one is definitely telling me that. It's like you are breaking free from the past. You are moving toward a real relationship. Because most of your people here are kind of older, I feel like this crowd might be just a little bit older. Even though this is a young person, they can read like that and not be young. You know what I mean? They can just be, just act a little bit younger. To me, this feels like very much like someone who has been through many relationships, has perhaps has maybe learned all the lessons that they needed to learn. Because, when you're young, you're going through relationships, you're learning, okay, what it is exactly that you want in a relationship, or you're learning what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Through all those relationships in your past, you were able to say, okay, I know now exactly what it is that I want. You put that in your vision, on your vision board, or however it is that you manifest. There's so many ways to do it. Maybe you just write it out as your intention, like this is the man or the woman that I want to attract into my life. They have these character traits. You just write it all down. However it is that you chose to manifest your relationship, it's happened, and it's happening, and it's coming to you this month because you are breaking free from the past. The sun is shining. This is a very positive card. It's an absolute yes. You're moving forward, and you're moving forward into that real relationship. It's just very interesting. That's very positive. So for the Angels and Ancestors card, I asked, what advice can you give to my pile fours? And you got the Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. So to me, this looks like you guys have manifested a real relationship. It's actually, if it doesn't lead to marriage, as this card says, it actually says marriage, happiness, and bright prospects. I swear to God, that's what it says. So if it's not a literal marriage, it's just a solid, long-term kind of relationship. With that word prospects there, it tells me, actually with that word prospects and with all these cards you got here, with all these people cards, it's telling me that you're going to have options. So this card is just saying connect with your emotions so that you can, when you're making the decision here, you can make a choice with your heart and not with your head. So the last card that we got is the Sacred Traveler card, and I just asked the question, what action does pile 4 need to take right now? And you got in the flow, everything is smooth sailing. If you notice, this looks like Christmas time. It looks like Santa Claus, but it's a woman in a sleigh surrounded by presents, gliding over this beautiful winter wonderland, and she's all bundled up, and it's just a beautiful card that's representing wintertime. So for me, that might be a timing thing. Like we asked in the next month, what's coming up in the way of love, sex, and romance. So then, to me, what's coming up is you have some choices to make. There are some options here. What fun is that? You can go date these people and see which one is speaking to you, which one is the one that you have manifested. Let your emotions guide you. Let your heart guide you to the one that is best for you. By wintertime, you're just going to be in the flow. You don't have to do anything. I asked, what action can you take? What do you need to do? Nothing. You don't need to do anything. You're in the flow. It's all coming together. These people are coming to you. You're going to be able to go out on dates. You're going to have these options. Probably someone that's intelligent, probably someone that's a little younger and a lot of fun, probably someone that's a little older and really good at relating. The world is your oyster. Which one you want? Which one is the one you manifested? That's what you are going to be figuring out. And I think that you're going to have a lot of fun figuring that out, actually. It's nice to be wanted, right? But do follow your heart. That's always good advice, right? And it's going to be solid and by Christmas time you'll figure out which one, and smooth sailing from there. Wow, that's a nice reading, you guys. Congratulations. But that's all I have for my pile fours. And then until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste.